Okay, so it says recording at my end. Is it recording? Does it tell you that it's recording?
It does.
Oh my God, okay. Right, let's share screen. So we're just going to focus on the same idea again of how much can we say about one quote? How can we push this up the grades to make sure that we're getting as many marks as we can? So where are we going to start with Mind Forged Manacles?
He wants people to get out of their head the fact that it's like in their head they've got a thing that tells them that they have to do stuff, whereas he kind of wants people to do their own thing and stand up for themselves.
So we've got this idea of their minds being controlled, everything about people in society being controlled. So we're going to want to talk, first of all, I think, about the choice of word. Because manacles, if we're going to talk about the use of the word manacles, suggests, what's it making you think of?
Like all being locked together and stuff.
Okay, so we've got this idea because manacles are chains, so people are locked together. What people have manacles?
Prisoners.
Prisoners, okay? So we've got this image of prison, like people that have done something wrong and they're being chained up because of that. They're being controlled. Their movements are controlled because the manacles that are around their arms and their legs are limiting their movement. So absolutely, we've got that link there to this restraint on people, okay? But then we're going to talk about how these manacles are mind forged. So if it's in the mind, what is it?
Yeah, you've done it yourself.
Okay, so it's in your head, you're doing it yourself. So if these manacles are mind forged, it's a little bit more like it's internal. So it's not a physical chain that is around somebody that's controlling their movements. It's in their head, it's psychological, and it's chaining and controlling what they can and cannot do. So if we think about, we've got like this internal restraint really on what people can think. Now, if we want to get our higher grades, what's Blake therefore saying about people's ability to think for themselves?
They weren't they weren't able to think for themselves.
Okay, so that's we'll put up here. Then we've got this idea of our context, this idea that actually we've got what was going on at this time?
Industrial Revolution.
Okay, thank you. So we've got Industrial Revolution. I cannot write in this top corner. So we've got Industrial Revolution, which is essentially controlling this idea of control. So we have control and power by government, by higher society on everybody else. And we've got the physical control over the prisoners, and we've got the psychological internal control over everybody else's mind, controlling everything that they see and everything that they do. So what technique have we got here?
I'm just going to write some of this down.
Oh yeah, you're welcome to write some of this down. I won't move on without it. So if we've got this image of prison, we've got this image that we're all like controlled and plagued. The psychological then becomes what? What technique is it? Is it a simile or a metaphor?
Metaphor.
Okay, so we've then got technique that's going to increase our grade. But again, remember, I can't just say, oh, there's a metaphor. That doesn't get you anything.
Yeah.
If we want to get the credit for that, we've got to say why. How's this metaphor being used? Why is it there? So what's his kind of message here?
People should do stuff on their own.
Okay, so people have almost lost sight of everything that perhaps is important to them. It's quite an oppressive time. So we've got this idea of this psychological control. And I think let's go physical as well. And Mindforge Manacles really does show the types of control and power, because we always want to be talking about power, that the government are having over the whole of this kind of society, over everybody, because we've got everybody walking around with marks, and they could be physical marks, emotional marks. Everybody's sad. We've got the woe. The Thames is polluted, so there's nothing great going on here. And Mindforge Manacles is a nice quote to choose because you can talk about the psychological and the physical control. You're talking about the metaphor, why the metaphor has been used to show that power, linking to our industrial revolution and our society at the time. And that's, with every comment you're making, improving your grade, because you've got so much more to say every single time. So it's not like what we did with Aussie, where we could link it to a specific character, because there isn't really a character here, but we can still link it to themes, this theme of power. So what type of power, what theme is this one? Who's got the power? Because it's not nature.
Like the government having the power.
Yeah. Okay, here we've got the power. It's the power of man. And is this power and control positive or negative?
Negative.
Yeah, 100%. So there's a message there in itself that actually giving mankind too much power might not really be the best forward move. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
But then we've started yet again, we've taken our quote, we've gone straight to our words, talked about manacles, so we're probably going to mention that first in our paragraph. Then we're probably going to mention second word, the Mindforge. Then you'd probably want to go to your metaphor, talk about the metaphor, and then when we talk about the power of man, you're going to come back and link that to your context. And you suddenly have, from just one quote, tons you can say about that whole poem.
Yeah.
Done in a nutshell. That you just have to remember Mindforge Manacles, one other quote from that poem, and you pretty much got it covered. Okay?
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
Good.
Okay, we'll do one more, but I'm going to stop before then.